It's Thursday, September 18th.
There's so much pressure right now, which is sort of pushing them away from each other as each one tries to secure preferential treatment from Washington.
Mark Carney heads to Mexico today to bolster a partnership strained by competing interests with the U.S.
If Sergeant Taylor is not fit for the badge because he treated someone not as a criminal, well, I'd hate to see who is deserving of the badge.
Saskatoon's police chief says a former officer's friendship with a gang associate put the integrity of the service at risk.
It's been just super the way the town has come around and said, hey, we'll buy tickets, we'll come out.
The Warman Wolverines set to make their regular season debut in the SJHL, what ownership is saying today. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Sawatsky. Happy Thursday. Almost Friday.
Almost so close. And every time I see that animation, I'm thinking, who has time to make breakfast, make pancakes first thing in the morning like that?
Well, they should bring us some. We're hungry.
Yeah, we are always hungry. Thank you, Kayleen. We'll get to your news update for this part of the hour. Prime Minister Mark Carney leaves for Mexico today. The goal of the trip is to strengthen ties with a major trading partner.
Mexico is our third most important trading partner, and we're number 5 on their list. There's lots of opportunity to grow there.
Prime Minister Carney and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum are expected to sign a strategic partnership agreement later today. It's a wide-ranging deal covering everything from infrastructure, trade, health, and security. Last year, Canada did $56 billion in trade with Mexico. The two countries are major trading partners, but at the same time, they're also negotiating separately for the best deal with the U.S. Prime Minister Carney's visit comes as the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement comes up for review next year. Several ministers from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government would be leaving politics for diplomatic posts. CTV News has learned former Defence Minister Bill Blair is set to be named Canada's ambassador to the UK. Former Justice Minister David Lametti could soon become the ambassador to the UN. Former Energy Minister John Wilkinson is said to be considering an offer to become EU ambassador. This comes after Transport and International Trade Minister Chrystia Freeland resigned from cabinet to become Canada's special envoy to Ukraine. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer raising concerns about government transparency over the budget.
At a macro level, what we're looking for, certainly on our side in the budget, is a plan, an economic plan that will demonstrate how the federal government expects to intervene and provide those supports as part of the transition.
Jason Jacques says the government plans to reduce the size of the public service through attrition. Is highly unlikely that's going to happen to be enough to meet the fiscal targets outlined in the election. Experts warn the federal government will have to make deep cuts to the public service if it hopes to make its promise to reduce operational spending. But Prime Minister Carney insists the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations. The Liberal election platform had pledged to protect public programs like childcare, dental care, pharmacare, while eliminating $15 billion a year by 2028. Saskatchewan RCMP have charged 3 people in connection to an investigation into the Queen of Canada's compound in Richmond, Saskatchewan. The charges are over not providing their names or birth dates to arresting officers upon request. Romana Didolo, the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada, and her followers have been living in the former Richmond school since 2023. All 3 face 1 count of obstruction of justice. They'll appear in court in November. As for Didolo, she appeared in Swift Current Court Tuesday. She's out on bail with conditions. The Richmond compound has been deemed unsafe to live in by the SHA. 2 men are in custody in relation to a shooting last month that injured an 11-year-old girl. Both men are facing attempted murder charges, reckless discharge of a firearm, conspiracy to commit murder, and other charges related to gun possession and stolen property. It happened on the 1000 block of Edgar Street just after 2 a.m. A young girl was struck by a bullet. Police now revealing the home was targeted by the shooters.
It was a targeted location, and so for people in the community, I would reassure them that it is a safe neighborhood, that there aren't ongoing safety concerns.
Regina Police continue to ask for any doorbell or video camera from the area. If you have any, turn that in the night of the shooting, as well as anyone who may have information to come forward to police. RCMP are now investigating after a man was killed in a single vehicle rollover on Highway number 1. This crash happened near Wapella on Tuesday morning. Police arriving along with fire and EMS shortly after 9:30. The lone occupant of the vehicle was declared dead on scene. He's been identified as a 26-year-old man from Moosomin. His family has been notified. RCMP continue to investigate. Jeremy, a tragic note for those watching in the Prince Albert area this morning. A traffic note, rather.
Yeah, something to keep in mind. Yes, Daryl, thank you very much. The Prince Albert Police Service says there is an increased police presence on 2nd Avenue West near Marquis Road in Prince Albert. Traffic restrictions are in place, so police are asking the public to avoid the area until further notice. And we're going to stay with Prince Albert for this story. A high school in the city put into lockdown following an incident with a gun yesterday morning. Police called to Westmore Community High School on 14th Avenue West just before 10:30. They were told a gun was discharged outside the school. No other details were available. Police believe it was an isolated incident. Saskatoon's police chief says a former officer's friendship with a gang associate put the integrity of the police service at risk. Chief Cam McBride took the stand Wednesday at a hearing where a veteran officer is appealing his dismissal. Sergeant Robbie Taylor was fired from Saskatoon Police in March following an investigation into his friendship with someone associated with the Hells Angels. The associate cannot be named because of a publication ban. Chief McBride said part of his role is to ensure values and ethics are upheld at all times. He said the friendship contradicts the code of ethics, pointing to 3 times where he says Taylor used his role to try to benefit the associate. During cross-examination, McBride said there's no electronic evidence that Taylor leaked information to the associate. 5 days have been set aside for this hearing. It will resume today. All right, Daryl, police in Alberta have made one of the province's biggest drug seizures ever.
To the tune of $15 million worth of cocaine, Jeremy, is seized as part of Project Cerebus.
We are talking about a multinational criminal organization, a business built on importing drugs and violence into our communities.
Police say the target was a group of criminals with ties to drug cartels in Mexico. They were moving drugs across the Canada-U.S. border. The suspects allegedly transported the drugs using special-built vehicles with hidden compartments. Police say the network is now shut down. Trending overnight, Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show has been suspended indefinitely after comments he made about the killing of Charlie Kirk.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger points.
That was from Kimmel's Monday monologue. The decision to suspend the show came after it was announced that 32 ABC affiliates would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. U.S. President Donald Trump posting on Truth Social, writing congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done.
Late night is just becoming extinct, you know. Late night and the freedom to speak your mind.
There has been a lot of reaction to the move from fans to Democratic lawmakers to reporters who say free speech is now under attack. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer writing, "This must go to court." Journalist Don Lemon posting, "This should send a chill down everyone's spine in America." A pilot of Spirit Airlines received a bit of a scolding after not immediately responding to a controller's instructions as Air Force One flew by.
Spirit wings 1300, turn 20 degrees right immediately. Pay attention. I got to talk to you twice every time. Pay attention. Get off the iPad.
This was on Tuesday when Air Force One was flying U.S. President Donald Trump to the U.K. The 2 aircraft were flying parallel over Long Island, said to be about 13 kilometers apart. Air traffic control told the Spirit Airlines pilot to turn right, but there was no immediate response. After a few attempts in a statement, Spirit Airlines said the pilot followed procedure and safety is always a top priority. The Western Hockey League season begins on Friday. The Moose Jaw Warriors entering the 2nd year of a rebuild after winning the WHL title in 2024. Training camp has been encouraging for the coaching staff. Head coach Mark O'Leary says in order to take a step forward to playoff contention this season, players who are still around from the title run need to step up.
Yeah, I think guys like Noah Degenstein and Owen Berg, and I mean the list can go on, and you know they've been around here. They were here when we won a championship as young guys, and you know last year going through the tough year that we did. But you know now it's time as guys that have been in the league for 3 years to be those guys that we lean on now. I know they're excited about the opportunity, and I'm excited to see them take on that new responsibility.
The Warriors face the Wheat Kings in Brandon on Friday. The SJHL season officially begins on Friday as well. The city of Warman excited to welcome the league's newest team. Tickets for the inaugural Warman Wolverines regular season game already sold out. 500 tickets gone. The Warman Communiplex is doing last-minute preparations. Fans can expect a pregame show with lights, fog, and a large TV display. Ownership says they're looking for a modern fan experience.
It's been just super the way the town has come around and said, hey, we'll buy tickets, we'll come out. We've sold out for this game already, obviously. We're looking hopefully at doing some standing room seats only right away. So I think that's going to be a big thing that we're going to announce in the next couple days.
The team store has seen jerseys and hoodies flying off the shelves with orders placed for more already. One of the suppliers that makes this clothing from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Going to need a hoodie today, Kayleen? Is it one of those days?
Well, it's not going to be so bad today, but it's going to be right around that seasonal average. So not too much warmer in most places, not too much cooler. The seasonal average is about 17 degrees. Now, this morning, it's a bit of a dark and cloudy start to the day in both Regina and Saskatoon. Regina expecting that sun to be up in the sky by about 6:38 this morning, and Saskatoon by about 6:46. 14 degrees, though, to start the day in Regina, and once again, those clouds are up in the sky. Winds are a little bit increased compared to what we have been seeing in the past few days right now, coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. Winds are a lot more calm in Saskatoon to start the day, but we're also talking about some cooler temperatures, 9 degrees right now, but it is going to be warmer later on in the afternoon. Regina expecting that high of about 17 degrees, Saskatoon expecting 19 degrees, so we just have to have a little patience before we get there. Now here's a look at the radar and satellite. I want to show you a closer up view of this in Regina yesterday afternoon. We were talking about the potential for rain yesterday, and we did see just a little bit, but for moments there in the evening, it almost looks like static on your screen there, and that's because it was such a scattered system. The system was looking larger down in that southeast corner right around Estevan, where once again we did see some of that rain falling yesterday, and just a little bit clinging on this morning. This is at about 7:45 later on this morning. Still seeing just a little bit of that patch of green there between Regina and Estevan. As we continue on into the afternoon hours, it seems like it disappears, but then it comes right back up from a system that's making its way into Manitoba, actually, from the United States, and we're just getting a little piece of it just northeast of Estevan there into the afternoon. Into the overnight hours, this is at about 4 a.m. on Friday. You can see it's going to be making its way all the way up to the Parkland region there. Temperatures, as I mentioned, right around that seasonal average of 17 degrees, mainly down in that southeast corner. So Regina, Weyburn, and Estevan. Yorkton, just a couple degrees cooler at 15 degrees. And then over in the southwest, Swift Current up to about 22 degrees today, Moose Jaw up to 21. Now your 5-day forecast showing that the weekend is going to be beautiful. Our final weekend of summer, folks. Can you believe it? 25 degrees on Saturday with that sun shining. 26 on Sunday. Again, going to be seeing that sun shining up in the sky. We got to make the most of this one. Today in Saskatoon, we mentioned that high of 19 degrees, 20 degrees tomorrow, 24 on Saturday. Again, expecting a lot of sunshine, calm winds, 28 degrees on Sunday. Once again, our final little taste of summer there before autumn starts next week.
A new minimally invasive form of therapy is promising to stop the decline and in some cases even reverse the degeneration in people's joints. As Pauline Chan explains, it takes components from our fatty tissues and injects them back where they're needed.
It was a cycling accident that badly fractured Alex Sadowski's left ankle. He had 2 surgeries, rehab, and was supposed to be healed, but chronic pain had set in.
Everybody started telling me, oh, you should have relief, things should be fine. Go work out, go on a walk, do these things, and within 20 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on the activity, I would be gassed out and in pain.
Then last year, he was referred to Dr. Adrian Lee and tried a new treatment called regenerative matrix therapy.
And the concept is we're taking a patient's own fat tissue and injecting it to an area where there's needed because of damage in order to restore function, improve mobility.
It's a bit like platelet-rich plasma therapy, but much more directed. Fatty tissue from the abdomen is processed for an hour, and Dr. Lee says they're not exactly sure which components in the tissue are the ones that work to prevent cartilage degeneration, but they work.
Many different things. We have endothelial cells, fibroblasts, mesenchymal stem cells, and many other types of cells, and growth factors and extracellular matrix that we use.
The treatment can be used on shoulders, ankles, hips, and especially on knees.
The best candidates for regenerative matrix therapy tend to be patients who have moderate osteoarthritis, but are otherwise active and want to stay active.
At one time, these movements would have been excruciating for Alex. Now he has full mobility in his ankle.
100% is tough to gauge after being in chronic pain for so long, but I will definitely say I've never felt this level of freedom since before the accident.
The procedure is not covered by OHIP and can cost several $1,000s per injection. Only one shot is needed, and the effects have lasted up to 4 years in some cases.
Right now, there are 3 clinics in Ontario performing regenerative matrix therapy, and one more opening soon in Calgary. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, here's a fun one for you. Have you ever seen someone take their cockatoos for a walk? If not, you're welcome.
Never force any living creature to do, but you know that it's not in their intention or on their habit, because indirectly they might be telling you, no, I don't feel secure in this environment.
So Enrique Esteban frequently takes his cockatoos Bandito and Corky for walks through Calgary parks. Unlike dogs, these pets aren't on leashes. Instead, they take off into the trees, sometimes for hours, before flying back to him. Esteban says after doing this for more than 30 years, the pair of birds treat him like a family member of their flock.
He's very lucky that they're coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right.
My grandpa had a cockatoo or something like that when, like years and years ago. And he walked outside once with it on its shoulder, and it was never seen again.
We had a blue-fronted Amazon. It's a green parrot, and we used to put it in the apple tree, and it would be ours.
Really?
Where does that go? I don't know. He's in there somewhere. He never left the tree, but it was it was where's Waldo?
I would love to get a parrot, but that's a decades-long commitment, right?
It is.
So long.
Yeah. It is, and ours was a major jerk. Let's take a time out of the program. We got your question of the day coming up in just a moment as we take a look at the legislative building. It's 6:21. Good morning. We come to the question of the day.
Yeah, so this one, we just want to smile today. We want you to tell us some good news in your life right now. Maybe there's a wedding coming up. Maybe there's an upcoming birth of some kind. Something to celebrate.
Tell us something good, Jeremy Dodge.
There's a bunch of things. I'm going to be an uncle again in the next couple of months, so that's exciting. I've got a bit of a vacation getaway coming up in October. My football team is doing really well right now.
Are they?
All around, I'm doing pretty well.
Jeremy has some great reasons to
Is that you're a twin, right? Is that your twin, or your dad's a twin?
My dad is a twin. My brother is going to be a father for the first time here.
Congratulations, Mr. Dodge. What about you?
I have so many reasons to smile. Right now, I'm just smiling because my daughter and I are both getting over our cold, so we're sleeping again.
Oh, boy. Shout out to Dr. Dan, who took my kid's first tooth out yesterday after he smacked it on a bench. We were finally smiling again because we're all happy and healthy. Text us your good news. 10400 standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen.
All right, let's take a look at our school day forecast. Now, it's brought to you by CAA Saskatchewan. If you're heading out the door right now, it's about 13 degrees in Regina, bumping up pretty soon to about 11 degrees for Saskatoon. Mainly cloudy, though, down towards the south. 17 degrees by lunch for Regina, mainly cloudy, and mainly cloudy by final bell, sitting at that 17-degree mark, and that is our high for the day. In Saskatoon, though, only bumping up to about 12 degrees by lunchtime. The cloud's going to be increasing right around that noon hour, and then some of them are going to be pushing off by the final bell. So just a nice mix of sun and clouds and that high of 19 degrees. And as we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up is $1.39.9, but you can find regular fuel for as low as $1.16.9. And in Saskatoon, the most common cost to fill up is $1.35.9. You can find regular fuel for, or the lowest you might find, is $1.28.9. Taking a look at farm markets now, the street price of canola is $565.52 per ton, and the futures price at $628 per ton. Amber Durham wheat is $278.60 per ton, and Red Spring wheat at $233.21 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.67 cents US. Coming up in about 10 minutes time, it's Rail Safety Week. We'll talk why this week is so important to those in the industry. Stay with us.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is 6:30. Here's your news. The federal government's decision to pause its zero-emission vehicle sales mandate is being met with approval here in Saskatchewan. 2 weeks ago, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a one-year delay to a mandate that would have required 20% of all new cars to be sold with zero emission in Saskatchewan vehicles. Ottawa will be renewing the mandate, or reviewing it rather, for 60 days during the pause to examine economic pressure on manufacturers due to tariffs. In Saskatchewan, vehicle sales are up more than 10% compared to a year ago, but dealers here say electric vehicles weren't driving demand, with infrastructure many years behind that mandate's goal.
California numbers of 12 vehicles for one charger. We were going to be on pace to be over 52,000 chargers short in the province of Saskatchewan alone by 2035. So really, as it was, not a possibility.
Saskatchewan auto sales are on track to be their highest in nearly 10 years. The province has officially opened the Saskatoon Correctional Centre expansion. Officials and media invited to tour the new building, which will accommodate an additional 312 beds for offenders. The addition also has a medical unit, which includes dental and optical services, and will host inmates from across the province.
A lot of the work that's done within the facility is on the reintegration practices. It's on providing the life skills and addictions treatment programming, things like that, to address the underlying factors behind criminal behavior.
The expansion ended up costing a total of $135 million. Families voicing their concerns to Regina's Executive Committee about the levels of lead in the city's drinking water. When moving into the cathedral area with her family, Cheryl Hymas-Fraser says she tested the home's water levels as a precaution and found out the levels of lead were more than the maximum amount. On Wednesday, Regina's Executive Committee approved modifying its ongoing lead service connection management program to assist residents accessing clean drinkable water by expanding its repayment plan to all homeowners who replace their private side lead service connections, along with increasing its encouragement with community engagement to install a source water filtration system.
I like that there's going to be some concentration on talking to landlords through whatever means they can connect with landlords. That's a very important part of the picture because of what we've heard of tenants not being aware of what's happening.
At Wednesday's meeting, Executive Committee also reviewed a summary of last year's snow management, approving the recommendations to update its initiatives for winter road maintenance. U.S. President Donald Trump is meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on the second day of his state visit to Britain. This morning, Trump left Windsor Castle, headed to the Prime Minister's country house. Starmer and Trump will view the Sir Winston Churchill archives before holding a bilateral meeting behind closed doors. They will then hold a joint news conference conference later this morning. Trump and Starmer are expected to sign a tech prosperity deal boosting jobs and investment in AI and nuclear energy. In his first published interview today, Pope Leo said he would not change key doctrine on gay marriage and women deacons. The U.S.-born pontiff struck a different tone compared to the previous Pope Francis, who attempted to make changes that angered traditionalists. Leo said in an interview that the church has to change attitudes first before thinking about making changes to what the church says on any given topic, adding that it is very unlikely in the near future for the church to change the doctrine on sexuality or marriage. Work is getting started on a new Costco location in West Regina. A lot of people excited about this one. Construction crews moving dirt at 8701 Dudney Avenue this week. That is the site of the second Costco. Earlier this year, the project was given a $6.7 million grant in the form of economic incentives from the city to move ahead in the West Terra neighborhood. In addition to the store, the site will also have a parking lot for more than 1,200 cars and a gas station. This is not your usual find at a rummage sale.
I went over to the table and I thought, holy smokes, like that looks like a bomb. And I picked it up. It was very heavy, and I thought, I don't feel comfortable having it on my table.
Elaine Fletcher was setting up for the sale at Victoria Beach, Manitoba, when the volunteer asked her to check something out. Someone had donated an item that looked a lot like a bomb. There it is on your screen. The bomb squad and x-rays showed it was a practice bomb that gives off smoke when it hits the ground. The practice bomb was safely removed. As for the rummage sale, it will be back on this weekend. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are hoping to bring tailgating to Mosaic Stadium next season. In an email to season ticket holders, CEO Craig Reynolds says the team has been working with government officials to bring legal tailgating to the stadium. Adding season ticket holders will have first access to spaces if the proposal goes ahead. Several other markets allow tailgating already, including Calgary. The Riders wouldn't comment further, only to say that they're always looking to improve the fan experience. It is an away game, of course, this weekend. A foggy morning commute. Picture taken at 15th Avenue in North Battleford by Tim. Thank you for sending that in, Kayleen. We're dealing with a little bit of fog in some areas this morning.
Yeah, but at least visibility is improved from what we saw yesterday. Woo, that was a foggy start to the day yesterday. Today, though, beautiful start to the day. It was just about 30 minutes ago that you checked in with me last, and this screen was dark. Now the morning view is looking a lot brighter. Very autumnal out there this morning, but the temperature is still very nice, 14 degrees. Just some clouds to start our morning up in the sky, and those clouds are going to continue on into our afternoon today as well. In Saskatoon, 10 degrees. The sun also up and starting to shine there as well, poking through some of those clouds, and very calm winds to start our day in both cities. Not really going to be seeing too much of that wind later on today. Our radar and satellite, though, showing where we got that rain yesterday, particularly down through that southeast corner there, and then up through parts of the south central zone there, just north of Assiniboia. Today, though, we are still seeing just the last little bit of that particular bit of rain that we saw yesterday. That system is going to be coming back up from the United States. They're bringing a little bit more rain later on this evening, once again to areas just northeast of Estevan there. And then as we head into those overnight hours, we still see that system impacting us in Saskatchewan there, right into the Parkland region around Yorkton. Now, the smoke forecast today also showing a little bit more than what we saw yesterday. It is right in and around Regina this morning, but still not so bad that we're seeing any sort of air quality statements. Air quality not really impacted by this morning. As we head into the later parts of the morning, we do start to see it spread out a little bit, and then really by the late afternoon, it is no longer a concern for us. So not to worry when it comes to the smoke forecast today. The temperatures today, for the most part, looking right around the seasonal average. Regina, Weyburn, and Estevan at that 17-degree mark this afternoon. Saskatoon going to be a little bit warmer, up to 19 degrees, cooler through Yorkton, up to 15 degrees with that cloud cover, and some more sunshine in Moose Jaw, up to about 21 degrees. What we're really looking forward to is this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful one to finish us off for this summer. 25 degrees on Saturday with that sun shining in Regina. 26 degrees on Sunday. Both days we're being treated to some very low wind speeds as well, so it's a great day to get outside with the family. And in Saskatoon, things are looking even better on Sunday. 28 degrees with that sun shining, so really enjoying what we have left of summer there. 24 degrees on Saturday, and then looking forward to Monday, we do see temperatures drop, but they still will be above that seasonal average, sitting at 22 degrees on Monday. Your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is splurge. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter code word along with your info for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday, and we are taking a trip to Tampa for this one. It is the Jays and Rays. Alejandro Kirk gives this ball a ride to deep center, and Chandler Simpson, oh boy, makes a leaping grab of the wall, robs him of the 3-run homer. Real nice play by the rookie, who was primarily an infielder in college. That helping Tampa end Toronto's 6-game win streak. But it is worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got Thursday Night Football for you. It is the Dolphins facing the Bills. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a terrific Thursday.
The powerful new ads highlight the importance of safety around railway tracks. Operation Lifesaver Canada, spearheading that initiative. Peter Dabrowski is with us. He's the regional prairie lead for this organization. Peter, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
The ads are very powerful. This week is very important to you. Why?
This week is very important to us and myself personally because I worked with CN Rail for over 35 years as an engineer, and I've been in a few incidences, and it's, you know, trains don't lose. There's no undo button in these, and at the end of the day, it's the train crew that has to go home. So it's very important that we educate the public into letting know that there is no undo button. Trains are very fast. Trains can't stop, and there is no chance of surviving a train incident. So it's very important for us to educate everybody to let them know that train accidents and trains are very dangerous to be around.
The first ad that we just showed indicated it's vehicles, but it's also people on bikes and it's pedestrians.
Pedestrians, you know, people taking shortcuts also, you know, crossing the tracks where they're not supposed to, things like that. Trains also are very quiet. They can actually, as big as the trains are, they can sneak up on you. And, you know, and they move very fast. So
people have noise-canceling headphones on.
Yes, yeah. And, you know, in the wintertime, or especially around here in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta, people got their hoodies up. They've got toots on. They don't hear it. So you got to pay attention around the railroad tracks.
Just how long does it take for a train to stop? If you see something on the tracks and you hit the brakes, how long is it going to take you to get stopped?
If you've got a heavy train, you're doing 60 miles an hour, you're 2 kilometers to a full and complete stop from the time.
Nearly impossible for you to
stop. Yeah. So you got 2 kilometers before you come to a full and complete stop. As soon as you hit the train into emergency brakes.
And we've talked about this before, but the rail officers, CN officers, they are real police. They can hand you a ticket. They can arrest you.
Yes, I do a lot of work with CK or CPKC police. I do a lot of work with CN police, and they are police officers that can have actually more power than the RCMP and city police because they are allowed on railroad property, and they can do exactly the same thing. Trespassing tickets, speeding tickets, distracted driving tickets. They do everything too, and it's all to protect the railroads. It's you know, for the court corporations, it costs a lot of money when a train has to come to a stop and sit there. The general public get really mad when a train is blocking or crossing, as we know on Ring Road.
Ring Road, or over by the stadium, absolutely.
Yeah, over by the stadium. And so when a train is blocking or crossing because of an accident or an incident, it takes time, it takes money, and everybody is not very happy with it, all the way from corporate head office all the way down to the person that's trying to get across the street. So rail safety is very important. You know, it's everybody needs to know distracted driving, don't be in a rush, you know, follow your signs, know your signs and signals when it comes to railway tracks and crossings.
Peter, thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.
Be safe on the rail and around the tracks these days.
An annual prominent event taking place in the heart of Regina today, and Janelle Lapai is there down at Papiaco Plaza telling us more about what attendees can expect. It's the YWCA's Gender-Based Violence Awareness Walk. Janelle.
That's right, Jeremy. We are down having a very important conversation this morning. Here having it with me is Adrian, the YWCA Events Manager. Adrian, thank you so much for being out here with us. I know it's a little bit chilly, but I promise we're going to have a ton of fun. So let's maybe start off a little bit with the history of Walk a Mile in Their Shoes, because it has been such a prominent event in the city over the years.
Yes. So Walk a Mile in Their Shoes has been happening since 2017 here in Regina. It is a part of a broader movement with YWCA Canada to raise awareness on the realities of gender-based violence in Saskatchewan. So we host this event every September to raise awareness, but also raise funds for Isabel Johnson Domestic Violence Shelter. It's an incredibly important event in our community because Saskatchewan's rate of intimate partner violence is 2 times the national average.
Wow, so a very, very important event to be held here in the city then. And this is the 9th annual year. How have you seen this event evolve over those 9 years?
Yes, so the event's been happening since 2017. It kind of started out small with about 75 people gathering in downtown to do the walk. And now we see about 350 people. That's how many people we'll have with us today. We've received an incredible amount of support from the community, people creating teams, fundraising, you know, donning their red shoes to show support.
Fantastic. All right. And, you know, we're at the event place. This is where it's all going to start. What time can people come down? How can they be a part of this?
Yes. So you can head down between 11 and 12 to register for the event. We'll have tons of volunteers on site to help get you signed up, get your red shoes on, and the walk kicks off at 12 p.m.
Fantastic. All right, Adrian, we will be back shortly. We're going to talk a little bit more about what people can expect this year and maybe what they'll see next year and the 9 years coming, because this year is very, very special.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We'll get a little more from you in just a little while.
And we have these milestones to share with you. We're starting off with a belated anniversary wish. Yesterday was Kenneth and Elizabeth's wedding anniversary. She wrote in and said she's looking forward to many more years of love and happiness. Congrats, you two. Also celebrating today is Sharon on her 65th birthday. Happy birthday, with lots of love coming to you from Aaron, Levi, and the grandkids. Have a great day. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Danica today. She's turning 17 years old. We hope today is a great one. This shout out coming from your family and friends. Also marking another trip around the sun is Amy. Happy 43rd birthday to you. Hopefully it's a great one and a great year ahead. We also got this photo in our inbox to say happy birthday to Wilma. This shout out coming with love from her uncle, auntie, Xavier, Anthony Jr., and Azariah. And last but certainly not least, happy birthday wishes also going out to Kira today. She's turning 11 years old. We hope you have a wonderful birthday, Kira, with love from your mom, dad, and Benny. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca, but make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Have you found a new place to live after that spider infestation you're dealing with?
No, you know, I'm just kind of taking it day by day. There's a lot of spiders out there, so they've really taken up most of the real estate that we've been looking at. But we'll get something by winter, hopefully.
What's going on the radio?
Well, we got some more tickets for Old Dominion. Beat the box office with us after 7:30 this morning. Plus, I want to hear from you this morning. What is the most annoying toy of all time? You can text over to 54321. My vote goes to Furby. We've had a lot of people text in for the Tickle Me Elmo as well. Both of them up for the Toy Hall of Fame. They could be inducted come November. I think we would put them on the opposite side of the list, but that's just me. Most annoying toy. Parents, get in here. Text 54321.
Kayleen's on board. She hates the Furby as well. That's an interesting topic. We might have to steal that question from you, Chase. Thanks.
It's all yours for $10.
We're in the middle of the jungle, and we are being hunted.
Anaconda is back. Jack Black and Paul Rudd try to outrun a giant snake in a reimagining of the 1997 horror film. See if the pair survive when the film comes to theaters on December 25th.
People thought I was that miserable cow that never smiled.
An inside look at Victoria Beckham. The former Spice Girl has a new docuseries that follows her road from pop star to fashion designer. Fans will get a peek behind the scenes when Victoria Beckham premieres on Netflix October 9th.
If my life's coming to an end, I really can't complain. I had a great life.
A look at Ozzy Osbourne's final days on stage. An upcoming documentary captures the late rock star as he records his last album and his concluding live performance. Ozzy, No Escape From Now will be available to stream on Paramount Plus starting October 7th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Sidebar to make us smile. Most kids try to hide it when they've done something bad, but not this guy.
Hey guys, I've been squeezing tomatoes and they went all the way on the sofa, on the floor, on the wall and on the ceiling, and Daddy was angry and I'm just here to say sorry. And
Look at him learning to take accountability even as a child. I love him.
I understand on the couch and stuff, but how did it get on the ceiling?
But rather than apologizing directly to his parents for making the mess, he just, confesses his tomato shenanigans via a video message on his dad's phone. His sneaky confession wasn't found until the next day. So very Gen Alpha.
Is that where we're at? We're at Gen Alpha?
We are at Gen Alpha,
okay,
yeah.
So, hard to keep track as an elder millennial.
Yeah.
We all know that Jenga is a fun family game, or can be, but did you also know that it's a tool for teaching science?
I have another Jenga structure here, and it's balancing on two, right? But what if I told you that this structure could balance on one leg? Let's see if my center of mass stuff works. If we remove it.
Look at that. How cool is that? Whoa. This is Sean the Science Kid, 11 years old, teaching kids about science every day for his 1.5 million followers.
Wow. Again,
Holy
so
moly.
Another reason to be impressed with this new generation up and coming, because not only are they taking accountability, they are also taking a love of science.
Literally building tomorrow. We're back after this. It's Thursday, September 18th.
There's so much pressure right now, which is sort of pushing them away from each other as each one tries to secure preferential treatment from Washington.
Prime Minister Mark Carney heads to Mexico today to bolster a partnership strained by competing interests with the U.S.
This is truly one of the highest honors of my life. Such respect for you and such respect for your country.
After a day filled with royal pomp and circumstance, things will turn political today as U.S. President Donald Trump meets with the U.K. Prime Minister.
It's been just super the way the town has come around and said, hey, we'll buy tickets, we'll come out.
The Warman Wolverines get ready to make their regular season debut in the SJHL. Carla Shinkaruk with what ownership are saying today. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummel.
And I'm Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Man, day's off to a great start. Got to give a shout out to Dr. Dan at the dentist's office. Mateo's missed down a tooth, and the dentist says he's going to look like Bobby Clark for a couple of years.
Oh, well.
He's only 4, and apparently I didn't know you didn't get new teeth.
I bet he knows what he wants for Christmas.
New teeth till 7, so Tooth Fairy visited.
Front teeth?
Yeah,
yeah.
One of them, at least one, right? We'll get your weather forecast in just a minute. Let's get to your news headlines. Prime Minister Mark Carney is heading to Mexico this morning with the goal of expanding trade ties amid the U.S. trade war. Carney's 2-day visit to Mexico comes as both Canada and Mexico brace for the renegotiation of the continental trade deal with the United States. Carney is expected to sign a strategic partnership agreement with the Mexican President, Claudia Sheinbaum. Senior government officials say the deal will cover infrastructure, trade, health, agriculture, emergency preparedness, and security. Canada's interim parliamentary budget office are raising concerns this morning about government transparency over the budget.
At a macro level, what we're looking for, certainly on our side in the budget, is a plan, an economic plan that will demonstrate how the federal government expects to intervene and provide those supports as part of the transition.
Jason Jacques says the government's plan to reduce the size of the public service through attrition is highly unlikely to be enough to meet the fiscal targets outlined in the election. Experts warn the federal government will have to make deep cuts to the public service if it hopes to meet its promise to reduce operational spending. But the Prime Minister insists the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations. The Liberal election platform had pledged to protect public programs like childcare, dental care, and pharmacare, while also eliminating $15 billion a year by 2028. Saskatchewan RCMP have charged 3 people in connection to an investigation into the Queen of Canada's compound in Richmount. The charges are over not providing their names or birth dates to arresting officers upon request. Romana Didolo, the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada, and her followers have been living out in the Richmount school for a little while, since 2023. All 3 now face 1 count of obstruction of justice and will appear in court in November. Didolo made an appearance in Swift Current on Tuesday. She's out on bail with conditions. That compound, by the way, has been deemed unsafe to live in by the SHA. 2 men have been charged in connection with a shooting last month that left a girl injured. Donovan Mace on the investigation that raised concerns in the neighborhood.
2 men are facing an attempted murder charge in relation to a shooting last month which injured an 11-year-old girl. On August 11th, police were called to Regina's Eastview neighborhood on the 1000 block of Edgar's Street just after 2 a.m. following a report the girl was suffering from a gunshot wound. She was inside a home in the area at the time of the shooting. Now 5 weeks into the investigation, police revealing the home was targeted by the shooters who fired nearly 20 bullets towards it.
It was a targeted location, and so for people in the community, I would reassure them that it is a safe neighborhood, that there aren't ongoing safety concerns.
RPS says dozens of hours worth of personal security camera footage of the area has been reviewed by investigators, and as a result, 20-year-old Anthony Nabexi and 18-year-old Devin Nabexi both face several charges, including attempted murder, reckless discharge of a firearm, conspiracy to commit murder, and 3 other charges related to gun possession and stolen property. Devin is also charged with 2 counts of possessing a firearm contrary to a prohibition order, both making their first court appearance Wednesday morning. Police could not confirm if the 2 men are related nor if this targeted shooting is gang-related.
We don't see these types of things happen in Regina on a daily basis, thankfully. We are not immune to gun crime, unfortunately. We are doing everything that we can to ensure that those who were responsible are held accountable.
Davies says the young girl continues to recover from the injury she sustained from the shooting. Now, with this investigation ongoing, Regina police continue to ask for any doorbell or video camera footage from the area of the night of the shooting, as well as for anyone who may have information related to this incident to come forward. Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
And Jeremy Dodge now in our Saskatoon studio. We talked about it off the top of the show here. The friendship between an officer and someone else is drawing some criticism this morning.
Yeah, Daryl, it's a friendship between a former member of the Saskatoon Police Service and a gang associate is at the center of a hearing in Saskatoon this week. The former officer appealing his dismissal. The Saskatoon's police chief took the stand yesterday, outlining why he felt the officer should be fired. Stacey Hine reports.
Highly inappropriate, very problematic and risky is how Police Chief Cam McBride describes the friendship between veteran officer Robbie Taylor and a person associated with the Hells Angels. The associate cannot be named because of a publication ban. Sergeant Taylor was fired from the Saskatoon Police Service in March because of that friendship. Now he's appealing the dismissal at a hearing. During testimony, Chief McBride said part of his role is to ensure values and ethics are upheld in the police service. He said their friendship contradicts the code of ethics, pointing to times where he said Taylor tried to benefit the associate. One instance, he said, was in 2023, when Taylor tried to intervene another officer, giving the associate a ticket after a traffic stop. When asked why remedial efforts weren't considered, McBride said the trust between Taylor and several members of the service had already been broken. Taylor's lawyer says there's no evidence to suggest the officer shared information with the associate or the gang. He also said Taylor was upholding the values of the police service by not discriminating against the associate.
If Sergeant Taylor is not fit for the badge because he treated someone not as a criminal, not as a drug dealer, but as someone who had a past that was deserving of redemption, well, I'd hate to see who is deserving of the badge.
Taylor's lawyers raise concern about a procedure not being followed properly and are filing an abuse of process application. That's set to be discussed on Thursday. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, back to you with news of a shooting in the United States.
This one coming out of Pennsylvania. 3 officers in Pennsylvania fatally shot and 2 others wounded in a confrontation yesterday while the shooter was killed by police. This marked one of the deadliest days for Pennsylvania police in this century. The state police commissioner said the officers were following up on an investigation that began last week. Authorities are yet to identify the officers shot or the shooter. Jimmy Kimmel's late night show has been suspended indefinitely after comments he made about the killing of Charlie Kirk.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger...
That was from Kimmel's monologue on Monday. The decision to suspend the show came after it was announced that 32 ABC affiliates would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. The U.S. president posting on Truth Social, congratulations to ABC for having the courage to do what had to be done.
Late night is just becoming extinct, you know. Late night and the freedom to speak your mind.
There's been a lot of reaction to the move, as you can imagine, from fans to Democratic lawmakers to reporters who say free speech is under fire. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer writing, "This must go to court." Journalist Don Lemon posting, "This should send a chill down everyone's spine in America." Work is getting started on a new Costco location in West Regina. A lot of you excited about this one. Construction crews moving dirt at 8701 Dewdney Avenue this week. That is the site of the second Costco. The project is given a $6.7 million grant in the form of economic incentives from the city to move ahead in the West Terra neighborhood. In addition to the store, the site will also have 1,200 parking spots and a gas station. It's been almost 30 years since Saskatchewan got a new SJHL hockey team, and this is why the city of Warman is so hyped for the season opener of the newest team in the league, the Warman Wolverines. Carla Shinkaruk reports.
19-year-old Brexton Fox being a part of a brand new SJHL team launch is not lost on him.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's a new team, new year. Obviously, the fellas we just kind of got our team put together, so looking forward to the crowd opening night.
And that's Friday for the first home opener, but it's not just what's going to be happening on the ice that's being prepared.
Quite literally all hands on deck this week, and we joked about how this is going to be the most stressful week of the year because this was really a startup. We started this team. We bought a franchise, but we started a business. We started a team from the ground up.
These co-owners pitching in, putting finishing touches on the rink, making sure the 1,200-plus fans who will fill this rink get their money's worth.
It's been just super the way the town has come around and said, hey, we'll buy tickets, we'll come out. We've sold out for this game already, obviously. We're looking hopefully at doing some standing room seats only.
Even the mayor, who has already gotten his Wolverines jersey, is ready.
It is really the only Junior A hockey in the area. We'd have to go to Humboldt or North Battleford to
to get the closest teams beyond us. So really, we invite all the area to come to this.
And the team buzz is real, with merchandise a hot commodity.
The rink will be filled with people wearing jerseys as well as our hoodies. We've already had to do a restock on our merchandise, all of our sweaters, t-shirts.
She tells us the home games are going to feel like a WHL game, with a huge screen for replays and a light and fog show.
I think even if you don't necessarily like hockey yet, the show that will happen on our game days will be enough to draw you in and keep you coming back.
With fans also in mind for this forward, he thinks they'll like what they see from the players also.
Oh, we'll see opening night, but right now I think we're all pretty confident about what we can do.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Warman.
Congratulations to the Wolverines as we take a look at the grain dust in the air. Can't hide that beautiful sunset near Wilkie, Saskatchewan. Thank you to Kathy Miller for firing this into us.
Yeah, land of the living skies. We love those skies during harvest time, too, over those fields.
And they got to get the crop off the ground, so they need some warm temperatures.
Yeah, well, good news. We are seeing some fairly nice temperatures. It's right around that seasonal average, so not too high, not too low, but also seeing some fairly dry conditions today, other than, once again, down in that southeast corner right around Estevan, going to be seeing the last little bit of that system that we saw yesterday carrying on to later this morning. I'll show you on our weather tracker in just a moment. Let's take a look at these current temperatures now in Regina, coming in at 14 degrees. We do have some cloud cover to start our day, and we're going to have some cloud cover to end our day as well. Not seeing a whole lot of sunshine today. 22 degrees is where those winds are at for Regina. Much calmer for Saskatoon, currently sitting at 10 degrees. Also seeing some of those clouds up in the sky, but Saskatoon could be seeing just a little bit more sunshine today than areas down towards the south. Now let's take a look at that future cast there. You can see again that last little bit of that system on your screen there. This is projected at about 8:45 a.m. right around Estevan. As we continue on into those afternoon hours, we see it disappear and then circle right back up from another system coming in from the United States, mainly impacting the southwest corner of Manitoba. But yes, some of that breaking into Saskatchewan this morning and into those overnight hours as well into tomorrow morning. It's actually going to be tracking north, impacting areas around Yorkton tomorrow morning. Current temperatures now showing that Prince Albert is at 10 degrees, South End at 11 degrees, Melfort at 12 degrees. Regina and Moose Jaw both at 14 degrees. That is the hot spot of this morning in Saskatchewan. Assiniboia at 13 degrees and Estevan at 12 degrees. Temperatures today looking pretty good for the afternoon. Again, though, that rain likely for parts of the morning and then late into the evening in Estevan. 17 degrees will be the high. Yorkton with that cloud cover up to 16 degrees. More sunshine as we look to the west today. Swift Current up to 22 degrees. Moose Jaw up to 21, and the Battleford's up to 20 degrees. In Regina today, the high 17 degrees, 20 degrees tomorrow. And then, as sad as it may be, it is the last weekend of summer, folks. So it's going to be a great one. Get outside and enjoy it. 25 degrees on Saturday for Regina, 26 on Sunday. Low wind speeds for both of those days. And then temperatures dropping on Monday to about 21 degrees. In Saskatoon today, the high 19 degrees, getting up to 20 degrees tomorrow. And then again, a beautiful weekend on tap. 24 degrees on Saturday with that sun shining, 28 degrees on Sunday, again enjoying some low wind speeds, and then Monday dropping down to 22 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud.
Ahead on your morning, we're drawing up those X's and O's in a bye-week edition with the Grey Cup champion West Cates. Get ready to ring those phones at 8:20. We are finding out about this year's entertainment lineup and audition process for Tele Miracle. At about 7:40 on CTV Regina and Yorkton, This Week in Politics. We will talk to the mayor of Moose Jaw, and if you're watching on CTV Saskatoon and Prince Albert, how you can learn the bagpipes of the 96 Highlanders, pipes and drums. We'll take a look outside as we head to break, a look at the bridge in Saskatoon. We are back in 2 minutes.
All All right, we're taking a look at our rural forecast now. We're seeing some very nice temperatures just above the seasonal average in most places. Spiritwood up to 18 degrees with a nice mix of sun and cloud. Outlook up to 21. Again, a mix of sun and cloud today. Could be seeing some rain down in that southeast corner. That's where you're seeing a lot of cloud icons on your screen right now. Coronach up to 21 degrees today. Broadview cooler, only reaching that high of 15 degrees today. Now let's take a look at Lanigan, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. The high today expected to be about 18 degrees, reaching that at about 3 p.m. Mainly cloudy skies during the afternoon and winds coming in between 15 and 25 kilometers per hour.
All right, last year in Saskatchewan, 102 wishes were granted by Make-A-Wish. That is a pretty remarkable thing, and our Mike Siona is learning more about the notion that wishes are medicine. Mike?
Yeah, we certainly are. Wishes are medicine is, it's not that it's a want, it's that it's a need, is what I'm hearing. And I'm here with the one and only Jen Garden, who is the chapter director of Saskatchewan, among other regions. But we're in Saskatchewan, we're in Saskatoon here today talking about that. Tell me about wishes are medicine.
So at Make-A-Wish, we have been saying for many years that medicine comes in more than a bottle, and that wishes are a powerful thing to get a child through that treatment. So we really looked at that, and our new way of speaking about wishes is that wishes are medicine. They are an essential part of a child's medical treatment while they're going through whatever their journey may be. We know that 95% of doctors actually consider the wishes a turning point in a child's medical treatment. They are more compliant for treatment, and it gets those families through those really dark times. Just thinking about what could be is hope, and hope is medicine. Wishes are medicine.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I mean, you hear the stories over and over again, as we've heard 102 wishes granted last year in Saskatchewan, and so many more before that. I think Make-A-Wish, what, a 43-year legacy in the country of Canada and 45 years as an organization. So many great things happening. This month is Cancer Awareness Month, and that's a critical illness in terms of what you guys do.
Yeah, so September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and in Canada, there will be 6 children today diagnosed with cancer, and in the next month, 180 will start their treatment. Of the 3,700 kids across Canada waiting for a wish right now, about half of them are or have had cancers. So we really need to bring to light that wishes are a powerful thing to help these kids through their cancer journey.
No doubt about it. Obviously, 102 wishes granted last year. It sounds, unfortunately, like there will be more wishes in the pipeline. It's incumbent on us to make sure that those wishes are met. And so we'll talk a little bit about the fundraising options and things like that as the morning goes on.
In case you missed it, are you ready for your daily dose of adorable?
I'm ready.
Take a look.
A world that makes such wonderful things could be bad. Look at the stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this.
It's the voice. It's the face. It's adorable. Drink it in.
It almost brings a tear to my eye. The hand gestures.
It's great.
Oh my goodness.
I see a future star.
So this is racking up hundreds of thousands of views, as you can imagine.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Kids are a must-win. A must-do.
Oh, I love it.
Over to a question of the day we go.
All right, well, we're asking you to spread some positivity our way this morning. Tell us something good that's happening in your life right now. What's the good news? Daryl, I don't think we got yours earlier.
Oh, Tooth Fairy just visited my boy. I'm going to show you a video in a little bit.
Oh, very exciting. I want you both, though, to help me congratulate Natasha on our big board. She says, after 18 years of working in a salon, I am opening my own home business on on October 1st.
All right, congratulations.
Yay!
Yes.
We're very excited for you, Natasha. Heather also saying, my good news is that I'm going out to see my bestie in a couple weeks. She's living just outside of Victoria, and Heather's never been. So excited to spend a few days with her, see what the island has to offer. Heather, you are in for a treat.
She might not come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vancouver Island in the fall.
Right?
Gee.
Yep.
Yes, I am very grateful to have family that lives out on the island. Just stunning, a beautiful place to visit. We also had Donna from Cowessess spreading some positivity our way today. Not only are they about to be grandparents for the first time, congratulations.
Oh boy.
Also loving the new look of Your Morning Saskatchewan with this team. Thank you so much, Donna, bringing a smile to our face this morning. And giving some love to our massage therapist this morning. We got this on our text line saying the good part of my day is a massage with Taylor Clark at Rocanville Remedial Massage Therapies.
Right.
I also think it's a great day when I get my massages. So thank you so much for spreading that positivity to us this morning. We want to hear what's something good happening in your life right now. Tell us your good news. Text us your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday, and we are taking a trip to Tampa for this one. It is the Jays and Rays. Alejandro Kirk gives this ball a ride to deep center, and Chandler Simpson, makes a leaping grab of the wall, robs him of the 3-run homer. Real nice play by the rookie, who was primarily an infielder in college. That helping Tampa end Toronto's 6-game win streak. But it is worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got Thursday Night Football for you. It is the Dolphins facing the Bills. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a terrific Thursday.
Time for your morning mystery. Today it is a thing. Let's get you to clue number 1. This toy was created by Yoshiharu Washino in 1974. Oh no, we're all screwed. It was the Labubu of the 80s in North America. It's clue number 2. Clue number 3, the name is a combination of the French word for mon, which is mine, and the Japanese sound chichi, which is mimicking a baby sucking a pacifier. Okay, so if it's a combination of those, what I'm going to do is...
I was going to put them together.
This is not...
Hold on, how do I spell this?
Go back on the prompter so I can copy this one.
H's? There's so many H's.
I don't know, you did the same thing I did. Okay, what did you... Yep, okay, so what is the answer? In our morning mystery, Moncheat. Did any of us spell it right?
Yes, no, I think I spelled it right.
Hey, we're still batting 100. Jeremy, you're still batting 100.
Yeah, I mean, you give it away that final clue.
The spelling counts, I got it wrong, but other than that, that is your morning mystery for today.
Yeah.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look at your school day forecast brought to you by CAA Saskatchewan. If you're getting on the bus in Regina right now, we're sitting at 14 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. 10 degrees in Saskatoon. Again, some clouds up in the sky this morning. 17 degrees by lunch in Regina, but in Saskatoon, a little bit cooler by lunch, still sitting at that 12-degree mark. By final bell in Regina, sitting at that daytime high of 17 degrees. Mainly cloudy all afternoon long. However, in Saskatoon, we're going to be seeing a little bit more sunshine this afternoon. Up to about 19 degrees, and that is the expected daytime high by final bell. All right, as we go to break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The most common cost to fill up is $139.9, but you can find regular fuel for as low as $116.9. In Saskatoon, common cost to fill up is $135.9. Lowest you might find is $128.9. Taking a look at the farm markets now, the street price of canola is $565.52 per ton, and the futures price $628 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $278.60 per ton this morning, and Red Spring wheat is at $233.21 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.67 cents U.S. After the break, how a federal decision to pause an EV mandate is being received here in Saskatchewan. Stay with us.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It's just after 7:30. The pause of the federal automotive program to increase zero-emission vehicle sales is getting a nod of approval not unexpectedly here in Saskatchewan, especially from dealerships. Keenan Sorkon leads us off.
Vehicle sales in Saskatchewan are booming, but it's not electric or zero-emission vehicles driving sales.
At the end of the day, we'll sell what people want, and but the infrastructure has to be there.
Earlier this month, the Prime Minister announced a pause to a mandate, which would have required 20% of new vehicles sold in Canada be zero-emission vehicles starting next year.
This will provide immediate financial relief to automakers at a time of increased pressure on their competitiveness.
Dealerships are celebrating the decision simply because charging infrastructure is lacking.
Truly, it was a cart before the horse sort of a scenario. Based on the California numbers of 12 vehicles for one charger, we were going to be on pace to be over 52,000 chargers short in the province of Saskatchewan alone by 2035.
Overall vehicle sales are on track to make this the best sales year since 2017, up 14% compared to last year. Data from SGI shows more people are choosing electric, but the numbers are still well short of the federal government's goals. At the end of 2023, there were more than 1,700 electric vehicles registered in Saskatchewan. That number jumped to 2,500 by the end of 2024. As of Wednesday, there are nearly 3,000 electric vehicles on the road.
Certainly, we had some adoption, but we need the other pieces to come along with it.
During the pause, Ottawa is also holding a 2-month review of the mandate. Keenan Sorkon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Families are voicing their concerns to Regina's executive committee about the levels of lead in the city's drinking water. When moving into the Cathedral neighborhood with her family, Cheryl Hymas-Frazier says she tested the water levels as a precaution and found out that levels of lead were more than the maximum allowable amount. On Wednesday, Regina's executive committee approved modifying its ongoing lead service connection program to assist residents accessing clean drinking water by expanding the repayment plan to all homeowners who replaced their private side lead service connections, along with increasing its engagement with the community to install at the source water filtration system. The Saskatchewan Huskies will try to get back on track this week as they host their provincial rivals. The Regina Rams ranked number 5 in U Sports this weekend.
We're advertising it as homecoming too, so hopefully you're gonna get a big crowd out, and yeah, it's always a good game between us and the Rams.
Yeah, it's a one-off with them this year, so we know we got to win this one. We're treating it like a playoff game, and yeah, obviously we remember the Hardy Cup last year.
There we go. This Friday will be the only meeting of the regular season between the Rams and the Huskies. As they said, the Huskies are 2-1 on the season, Rams 3-0. Coming off a tough Manitoba loss last week are these Huskies. Meanwhile, the provincial rivals undefeated. The game goes Friday, 7 p.m. at Griffith Stadium.
We missed a whole bunch of stuff, and that wasn't anything that they did or nothing against them. It's just that, like, when we look at ourselves and we look ourselves in the mirror, we know that we let one get away, and we got to do everything to right our wrongs here this week.
Big game, Kayleen. They need good temperatures to play football in to make it an exciting affair.
Well, it's going to be a great weekend, I can tell you that for sure. Let's take a look at some current temperatures right now for Regina, sitting at 14 degrees. We do have some clouds currently lingering in the city. Winds are a little bit increased this morning compared to what we have been seeing in the past few days as well, and sitting at 11 degrees with a little bit more sunshine poking through those clouds in Saskatoon. Now let's take a look at this futurecast. Still seeing a little bit of rain down in that southeast corner later on this morning. It appears like it's going to be pushing off, but then it circles right back up, bringing some more rain to us later on this evening and into those overnight hours for tomorrow. Now let's take a look at some of those current temperatures out there. Spiritwood at 7 degrees. Prince Albert now sitting at 10 degrees. South End at 11 degrees. Just a little bit warmer in Swift Current at 12 degrees right now. Yorkton sharing that temperature of 12 degrees. Estevan also sitting at 12 degrees to start the day. 22 degrees will be the high in Swift Current today with a nice mix of sun and cloud. We are seeing again, some of that rain down in the southeast, though. Estevan reaching 17 degrees. And Regina at that seasonal average of 17 degrees this afternoon as well. Yorkton with that cloud cover up to 16 degrees today. Now, with that high of 17 degrees this afternoon, we're going to be seeing those clouds continuing on all afternoon long and into those evening hours. 20 degrees tomorrow, though. Going to be seeing a little bit more sunshine tomorrow. And the weekend looking absolutely beautiful. And this is, again, a reminder that this is the last weekend of summer. Autumn officially starts early next week, so enjoy this weekend. Get outside if you can. 25 degrees on Saturday, 26 on Sunday, with that sunshine continuing on. On Monday, up to about 21 degrees, so we are going to start seeing temperatures start falling as of about Monday. The winds, though, good news, going to be remaining fairly low all week long. In Saskatoon, a high of 19 degrees today, again with that mix of sun and cloud. Sun and cloud continuing on into our day tomorrow, up to about 20 degrees. And then again, take a look at those weekend temperatures. We really are lucking out with this one, folks. 24 degrees on Saturday, 28 degrees on Sunday. Not expecting to see too many clouds on either of those days. 22 degrees on Monday with that mix of sun and cloud. And again, we're not really seeing those winds increasing all too much. All right, well, your morning is just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is splurge. Head to the contest page on our website or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Always lots going on in Canada's most notorious city. I still call it the friendly city. The mayor of Moose Jaw is with us this morning for This Week in Politics. It is James Murdoch. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Daryl, for this opportunity.
We're always happy to have you here. We're talking about a lot of things. The impact of tariffs is one big thing that we all deal with in every municipality across the board. But you've got a brand new business open that's hoping to flourish and thrive in your community.
Well, yes, we just recently had the official ribbon cutting for a new lentil flour mill in the city of Moose Jaw, officially opened by the great people at Simpson Seeds. So, you know, that's you know, really going to move things forward, you know, on the agricultural side of things for the city. So congratulations to them.
You got to love that. Nobody loves the property tax increase, but you are dealing with that right now.
We are, yeah. That's you know, ongoing, and you know, we're just trying to do the best that we can, you know, to contain things, and but yet still seeing that the city needs to move forward with that. So,
are there some ways that you've been able to find operational savings?
That's ongoing. Yeah, that's ongoing. You know, our city administration continuously looks at that, and you know, they continue to explore options.
Of course, a strategic plan initiative approved until 2029. What does that include, and how does it work?
Well, you know, that's the vision of administration with council to see how we can move the city forward for the next 5 years. You know, to inspire community well-being and economic growth. So it's a strong plan, and that will be ongoing over the years, but I really look forward to being a part of that.
I don't think since I moved to Saskatchewan, a community has gone through so much infrastructure renewal. I mean, you went all the way down Main Street a few years ago, had to do all the pipes underneath there. Now you got more work happening.
Right. And you know, what is, you know, ongoing right now is the long overdue construction of the new bypass at the #1 highway and #2. So they're right on schedule with that, and I would, you know, like to thank the province for their commitment there. It's greatly appreciated. And then infrastructure-wise too, you know, that like every community, Daryl, it continues to be ongoing.
Regina's downtown.
So that's it, you know, and we as a city just continue to try to get the ear of the feds to let them know that, you know, there's key projects that we need support with.
Well, they are listening to some things because you got a brand new school coming.
And actually, that brand new school was just officially welcomed to begin.
Congratulations.
Yes, and I think it's something that the community should be very proud of. It's serving our South Hill residents and community. It's a joint project between our two local school divisions, and it's just a great structure to see.
How are your Warriors going to do this year?
Well, we will be playoff bound. I'm making that statement now.
Bold statement.
Hold me
cut
to
this
that.
Out.
Yeah,
We'll save it.
That's right.
We'll send it to Mark O'Leary.
Yeah.
The
There we are. The Warriors will be in the playoffs. Of course, you know, they start tomorrow evening in Brandon against the Wheat Kings, and then our home opener is Saturday, 6 p.m. puck drop. So let's pack the house.
Throw on your jersey and get on over there. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for doing this.
It's an honor. Thank you, Daryl.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Rummage and Bake Sale is on September 19th at 4 p.m. and September 20th at 9:30 a.m. It's being held at the Westminster United Church, and for more information, you can call 306-757-6444 or 306-533-0601. The Fall into Fall Craft and Trade Show is on Saturday, September 20th at 10:30 a.m. It's being held at the Broadway United Church. The Multiple Myeloma March is on Saturday, September 20th at 11 a.m. It's being held at Rochdale Park, and for more information, you can go to myelomamarch.ca. The Medical Fundraiser Dinner and Silent Auction is on Thursday, September 25th at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $30 each, and it's being held at the Serbian Club. For more information, you can call 306-541-4465. If you'd like your event shown here, you can email us at reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca with at least 2 weeks' notice.
Let's head back out now to Janelle Lapai, who was at Regina's Pat Fiacco Plaza ahead of this year's Walk a Mile in Their Shoes.
Adrian and I are back down here at Pat Fiacco Plaza, right where the event is starting here today. So we're going to talk a little bit about what people can look forward to coming up today. There's a nice walk, some partners with vendors in Vic Park. Let's discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, so the event kicks off at 11 a.m. Participants can come check in, get their walker bib, write on our big chalkboard wall that we have about why they're walking, ways that people can step up. We also have some community partners joining us today. Regina Sexual Assault Center. We have Regina Transition House, Sophia House, just to name a few. You can check out the services that they offer in our city and what they're doing to end gender-based violence in the community as well. We have a program, a short program starting at about 12 o'clock, followed by the walk. So participants will put on their red shoes and head for a walk around Victoria Park. And the event ends with some delicious lunch provided by Schmitty's Smoked Meats.
Ooh, sounds delicious. You're not going to want to miss out on that. So how have you seen the community respond to this over the last 9 years? Because there really has always been such a good turnout for participants.
Yes, so the event started out very small in the park here with less than 100 participants, and now we've grown to over 300 people showing up. So a lot of our sponsors, presenting sponsor Ivana, has the biggest team. They always show up to cheer on the participants. It really is a great turnout, and the community really comes to rally together for survivors.
A great way to bring people together. So one more time, just in case people missed it, Pat Fiacco Plaza is the starting point. How can they get here? When do they get here? And how can they be a part of all this?
People should show up between the hours of 11 and 12 p.m. just so that they can get checked in for the walk, get everything that they need, get their red shoes on, and then they're ready to walk.
Amazing. All right, Adrian, thank you so much. You and I are going to be back one more time here next hour. We're going to finish things up here at Pat Fiacco Plaza.
18th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We're starting off with a belated anniversary wish. Yesterday was Kenneth and Elizabeth's wedding anniversary. She wrote in and said she's looking forward to many more years of love and happiness. Congrats, you two. Also celebrating today is Sharon on her 65th birthday. Happy birthday, with lots of love coming to you from Aaron, Levi, and the grandkids. Have a great day. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Danica today. She's turning 17 years old. We hope today is a great one. This shout out coming from your family and friends. Also marking another trip around the sun is Amy. Happy 43rd birthday to you. Hopefully it's a great one and a great year ahead. We also got this photo in our inbox to say happy birthday to Wilma. This shout out coming with love from her uncle, auntie, Xavier, Anthony Jr., and Azariah. And last but certainly not least, happy birthday wishes also going out to Kira today. She's turning 11 years old. We hope you have a wonderful birthday, Kira, with love from your mom, dad, and Benny. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca, but make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Oh, hi, Chase. What's going on the radio today?
We're still talking the most annoying toy of all time, the Fisher-Price vacuum that has those popping things. That has been mentioned numerous times. Those electric walking dogs too. The Furby, they're all in there. This has to do with the Toy Hall of Fame. They announced their 12 finalists, and it includes Furby, it includes Tickle Me Elmo, which a lot of parents are saying are some of the most annoying toys of all time. Another interesting little tidbit for the 12 announced for the Hall of Fame: snow made the list because kids can play with it. I would almost put that one in the most annoying too. Depends, I guess, what kind of snow is falling. But keep on texting in 54321. Also, big money montage coming up at 9 o'clock. More cash in there now. $400 we'll play for.
You know what's not annoying, but I miss, and you used to have around your office, moon shoes.
Yes, the moon shoes. I don't know if we got too heavy or the elastic got too weak, but they maybe a little column A, a little column B. It didn't moon shoe us anymore.
It was actually my memory on my Instagram yesterday came up and me clomping around your studio and these things, and I'm pretty sure that was the last we saw of them.
I'm sure we can find another pair on eBay, someone who's taken a little bit more care of theirs.
Let's canvass the audience. If anybody's out there and you have moon shoes you don't want, you send them to us. Thanks, Chase. See you tomorrow.
Right here. Thanks.
If my life's coming to an end, I really can't complain. I had a great life.
We're getting our first look at the upcoming Ozzy Osbourne documentary, which is set to launch on Paramount Plus next month. Ozzy, No Escape From Now, documents the original Black Sabbath singer's final months before his death this past July. Cardi B is pregnant with her 4th child. The rapper has announced this is her first baby with her new boyfriend, Stephon Diggs, after the two confirmed their relationship 4 months ago. Cardi B also has an album coming out this Friday called Am I the Drama, as well as a tour planned for early next year.
How long will it take you to get ready? I'm always ready.
Fire up the neon and your sports car. There's a new Miami Vice movie in the works. Joseph Kosinski is set to direct. His most recent film was this year's F1. Universal says they're targeting a 2027 release.
Alpha Withrop, I know you're out here.
The upcoming sequel to Wicked will feature 2 new songs not featured in the original Broadway musical. Composer Stephen Schwartz said Cynthia Erivo will sing the song No Place Like Home, while Ariana Grande sings The Girl in the Bubble. It may only be September, but the Hallmark Channel is already in the Christmas spirit. The network announcing a new slate of holiday programming, including a Grand Ole Opry Christmas special. Hallmark's wall-to-wall 24/7 holiday programming kicks off October 17th. And happy birthday to Jason Sudeikis. The Ted Lasso star and Saturday Night Live alum turns 50 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Cats and dogs like Kayleen and I are often seen as enemies, but they can be friends. It just might take a while.
Bernoulli, let go. Were you biting her tail? Bernoulli. What's happening? Bernoulli! It has been 0 days since a ginger molly.
Bernoulli, the Birmingham Jeremy's mountain dog still trying to figure out how to play with his feline friend.
Did you hear that they had a days without incident countdown there?
Yep.
Yeah.
So far, it's
very
at 0.
important.
It's been reset a lot. Oh, we're going to have a days without incident around here. I just said I listen to records and I don't have a streaming service subscription, Jeremy, and she said, you're older than I thought.
But who doesn't have a streaming service for music these days?
I have XM. It's fine. Jeremy, what do you got for us?
All right, we're going to talk about kids, and they sometimes they try to hide it when they've done something bad, but not this guy.
Hey guys, I've been squeezing tomatoes and they run all the way on the sofa, on the floor.
All right, this guy sent his dad a message on his phone to apologize for a mess he made. Pretty new tech.
Oh, boy. You're facing your fears digitally. We're back after this. September 18th.
There's so much pressure right now, which is sort of pushing them away from each other as each one tries to secure preferential treatment from Washington.
Prime Minister on his way to Mexico to bolster a trade relationship that's been strained.
This is 2 national networks within a couple months that have bowed down to autocratic rule, really. And you go into it.
We're following reaction this morning after Jimmy Kimmel's late night show is suspended over comments related to the Charlie Kirk shooting and the president.
Now it's time, those guys that have been in the league for 3 years, to be those guys that we lean on now. I know they're excited about the opportunity. And
later this hour, the WHL season starts Friday, while the Moose Jaw Warriors coach says it's time for veteran players to step up. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummels.
I'm Kayleen Swatsky. Thank you for starting your day with us. We appreciate that.
Well, I told you last hour that we were shouting out Dr. Dan for taking care of Mateo's tooth. Well, the tooth fairy has visited. Take a look.
The tooth fairy come and the tooth fairy gave me 2 coins.
2 coins? You got $2 from the tooth fairy?
Yeah.
No way.
You have to tell Daddy that.
Safe to say Daddy knows, and now the rest of Saskatchewan does as well.
Oh,
all he wants for Christmas is
Mateo.
At least one of them. My goodness. We'll get to your weather forecast in just a minute. Let's get to news, your headlines for this morning. Prime Minister Mark Carney on his way to Mexico this morning with the goal of expanding trade. His 2-day visit to Mexico comes as both Canada and Mexico brace for the renegotiation of the continental trade deal with the United States. Carney is expected to sign a strategic partnership with Mexico this morning. Senior government officials say the deal will cover things like infrastructure, trade, health, agriculture, and emergency preparedness, along with security. Canada's interim parliamentary budget officer raising concerns about government transparency over the budget.
At a macro level, what we're looking for, certainly on our side in the budget, is a plan, an economic plan that will demonstrate how the federal government expects to intervene and provide those supports as part of the transition.
Jason Jacques on CTV Power Play yesterday saying the government's plan to reduce the size of the public service through attrition is highly unlikely to be enough to meet the fiscal goal outlined in the election. Experts warn the federal government will have to make deep cuts if the public service hopes to meet its promise to reduce operational spending. But the Prime Minister insists the plan is to rely on retirements and resignations. The Liberal election platform had pledged to protect public programs like childcare, dental care, pharmacare, while also eliminating $15 billion a year by 2028. Saskatchewan RCMP have charged 3 more people in connection to an investigation into the so-called Queen of Canada's compound in Richmond, Saskatchewan. The charges are over not providing the name or dates of birth to arresting officers upon request. Romana Didalo, the leader of that group, the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada, and her followers have been living in Richmond at the school since 2023. All 3 face 1 count of obstruction of justice now. They'll appear in court in November. As for Didalo herself, she was in Swift Current Court on Tuesday, out on bail with conditions. The Richmond compound, by the way, has been deemed unsafe to live in by the SHA. Jeremy, we're hearing about a hearing underway for a former Saskatoon police officer. The latest, if you could.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, Saskatoon's police chief says a former officer's friendship with a gang associate put the integrity of the police service at risk. That's Chief Cam McBride taking the stand on Wednesday at a hearing where a veteran officer is appealing his dismissal. Sergeant Robbie Taylor was fired from Saskatoon Police in March following an investigation into his friendship with someone associated with the Hells Angels. Now, Chief McBride said part of his role is to ensure values and ethics are upheld at all times. And he said the friendship contradicts the code of ethics, pointing to 3 times where he says Taylor used his role to try to benefit the associate. Now, during cross-examination, McBride said there is no electronic evidence that Taylor leaked information to the associate. 5 days have been set aside for this hearing. It will resume today. And a high school in Prince Albert was put into lockdown following an incident with a gun yesterday morning. Police called to Westmore Community High School on 14th Avenue West just before 10:30. They were told a gun was discharged outside the school. Police believe it was an isolated incident, have provided no further details. Well, Daryl, concerns being raised at Regina City Hall over lead in drinking water.
Families taking those concerns, Jeremy, to the Executive Committee to talk about lead in the drinking water. Committee members also discussing a plan to tackle this year's winter season. With a recap of it all, here's Sierra D'Souza Butts.
When moving into the cathedral area with her family, Cheryl Hymas Fraser says she tested her home's water levels as a precaution.
Some of our tests showed 161 micrograms per liter, and 5 micrograms per liter is what Health Canada says is the limit. So we were very shocked.
After finding out the levels of lead was more than the maximum amount, she became concerned for her children's health.
We had lead in our water, and we had to do a whole bunch of stuff to get rid of it. We had to get filters, and we had to get blood work done because we had been drinking the water.
Now, the two are sharing their experience with the City of Regina, urging the city to fast-track its current approach on replacing residents' water filter systems. On Wednesday, Regina's Executive Committee approved modifying its ongoing lead service connection management program to assist residents accessing clean, drinkable water by expanding its repayment plan to all homeowners who replace their private-side lead service connections, along with increasing its engagement with the community to install at-source water filtration systems.
I like that there's going to be some concentration on talking to landlords through whatever means they can connect with landlords. That's a very important part of the picture because of what we've heard of tenants not being aware of what's happening.
Executive Committee also reviewed a summary of last year's snow management, approving the recommendation to update its initiatives for winter road maintenance.
We are able to execute at a high level of service compared to the budget that we utilize. So there's a lot of good things that we took out of that, but it is one of the highest service requests that we see, and so it's important that we have that focus still on this program to make sure we maintain that service that residents expect.
Recommendations made by Regina's Executive Committee will be brought forward on September 24th for approval by Regina City Council. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
$15 million worth of cocaine was seized as part of Project Cerebus in Alberta.
We are talking about a multinational criminal organization, a business built on importing drugs and violence into our communities.
Police say the target was a group of criminals with ties to drug cartels in Mexico. They were moving drugs across Canada-U.S. border crossings. The suspects allegedly transported the drugs using special-built vehicles with hidden compartments. Police say that network is now shut down. Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show has been suspended indefinitely after comments he made during a monologue. Take a listen.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing.
That was from Kimmel's Monday night monologue. The decision to suspend the show came after it was announced 32 ABC affiliates would preempt the show. The U.S. president is commenting on social media congratulating ABC for the move. Another costly orca encounter to report in the Atlantic Ocean off of Portugal. The animal taking down a boat, which some call an attack. Others say they're just playing. ABC's Morgan Norwood reports.
This frightening video shows a pod of orcas attacking a tourist sailboat off Portugal. The so-called killer whales repeatedly ramming the vessel, eventually sinking it. Several people had to be rescued. Later that day, the same pod reportedly attacking another boat. It's the latest in a series of aggressive acts by orcas, which can grow as long as 30 feet and weigh up to 6 tons. Some 700 incidents have been reported in recent years, most off Spain and Portugal. In 2023, this orca ripping off a boat's rudder with its teeth. And last year, this $128,000 yacht was taken down by a pod of orcas in the Mediterranean.
All of a sudden, I felt a really loud bang on the back of the boat, and I could feel sort of like a scraping. They carried on attacking and biting the rudder.
Robert Powell and his crew were sailing to Greece when he says at least 5 killer whales attacked his boat. He believes the orcas, known for their intelligence, knew exactly what they were doing.
They knew the weakness of the boat. They knew where to hit it.
But many scientists say orcas are not targeting humans, and the incidents are not meant to be aggressive. Instead, they claim it's most likely just bored teenage orcas having fun and mimicking each other. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Interesting story. How about this? The Saskatchewan Huskies will try to get back on track this weekend as they host the number 5 ranked Regina Rams.
We're advertising it as homecoming too, so hopefully you're gonna get a big crowd out, and yeah, it's always a good game between us and the Rams.
Yeah, it's a one-off with them this year, so we know we got to win this one. We're treating it like a playoff game, and yeah, obviously we remember the Hardy Cup last year.
This Friday will be the only regular season meeting between these two sides. The Huskies are 2-1 on this season, coming off a tough loss to Manitoba. The Rams undefeated.
We missed a whole bunch of stuff, and that wasn't anything that they did or nothing against them. It's just that, like, when we look at ourselves and we look ourselves in the mirror, we know that we let one get away, and we got to do everything to right our wrongs here this week.
The game goes Friday night, 7 p.m. at Griffiths Stadium. I feel like Jeremy Dodge and I have to have a bet on that game, right? That makes the most sense.
There's a lot of bets happening.
Yeah, there's so many happening.
Right now we're betting about Dancing with the Stars winners.
if we can get the morning mystery correct or not.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the last clue just spelled it out for us. If you missed it, you can see it on YouTube.
And we won breakfast from producer Nathan.
There you go. You won breakfast. I think I won ice cold beer. Can I drink that on the patio today?
You absolutely can. It is going to be a little bit cloudy, so we're not going to be seeing as much of that sunshine, but the temperatures at least are still going to be nice and warm today, right on the nose of that seasonal average. 17 degrees today, only getting hotter as we look towards the weekend. 14 degrees right now in Regina. We do have some winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. 11 degrees to start our day in Saskatoon. Winds currently coming in at 13 kilometers per hour with that cloud cover to start the day. However, Saskatoon could be seeing a bit more of that sunshine later on this afternoon. Now, the Futurecast showing that we are going to be getting just the last little remaining bits of that system down in the southeast today that we saw impacting us yesterday evening, so right around Estevan down there. Other than that, we're just looking forward to the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, where it's going to be tracking north and into that Parkland region there right around Yorkton. Your smoke forecast today showing that we are seeing just a little bit of smoke right in and around Regina early this morning. As we look forward into the afternoon hours, though, conditions are improving with that smoke. It's not enough to warrant an air quality statement either, so it's nothing to be too concerned about out there this morning. Spiritwood starting the day at 10 degrees now, Nipawin at 13 degrees, South End at 12 degrees, cooler through East End this morning, only reaching that 8-degree temperature to start the day, and Yorkton at 12 degrees right now. Later on in the afternoon, though, we are going to be seeing some sunshine for some parts. So the Battle Fords reaching 20 degrees with that sunshine. Saskatoon, again, later on this afternoon, seeing some more of that, up to 19 degrees, and Moose Jaw up to 21 degrees. We talked about that rain expected down for Estevan for parts of later in the morning and then into the evening hours. But during the afternoon, Estevan is going to be seeing some of that sunshine with that mix of sun and clouds as well. The rain is not going to be consistent. 16 degrees will be the high though, so just below that seasonal average. And looking forward to the weekend, our last weekend of the summer of 2025, if you can believe it. Autumn starts next week. Saturday up to 25 degrees with that sunshine, and 26 degrees on Sunday, again with that sunshine and low winds. Sunday looking even warmer for Saskatoon. Saturday not quite as warm, but 24 degrees with that sunshine, 28 degrees on Sunday, and again low winds. Get outside this weekend. Enjoy that last weekend of summer 2025.
we don't get the option to hold on that one. Sorry, Kaylee.
No, I have to run after my weather to this soft set, and it's like a little race.
I gave poor instruction on that
Nice
one.
of you to join us.
Yeah,
thanks.
My
All
bad.
right.
I'm here.
I want to show you this new baby stroller, which is being known as the Aston Martin of baby strollers, because it literally is an Aston Martin baby stroller. They've done a collaboration with the car seat brand Egg. Comes in 3 colors. Iconic racing green is one of them. Guess how much this thing costs?
Oh,
yeah, $4,000.
No way.
Goes on sale in the UK this year. No word on if you can get it in Canada yet. I'm sure you could order it if you have unlimited money and need to show up all the other parents at the play dates or wherever you take this thing.
I was admiring the real rubber wheels. Like, we have real wheels on ours, like air filled.
Yeah.
That's so much smoother ride.
Yeah.
Well, I will say my stroller was $100, and it works fantastic. No complaints.
I can put a logo on it if you like.
Yeah, I mean, I will say also, though, Jeep has brands of wagons for kids.
Oh,
and
like
and I saw that wagon and I said, ooh, one day.
Mine's from Costco, and it's so hardy I could pull Jeremy Dodge in it. Question of the day.
Oh, yes. Let's make that happen.
At some Rider games, we might need that.
You can't just say that and then not do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Next time you come to town, Dodger, we'll do it.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Well, that would sure make me happy, and that's our question of the day today. We're just asking you for some good news today. Dave sent this picture, and look at that smiling face.
Wow.
We didn't, we do have a name. It's Vance Jr. It said that this baby makes him happy. Great-grandson, Vance Jr. How cute is that? A lot of people writing in about their grandchildren today. I wish we had more pictures, though, to show. We have this answer saying, I have a new granddaughter. She's 4 months old now. Very happy, smiling, giggling. I think that's a good age. We all have kids here. We know that 4 months, when they start getting those little personalities, right?
Don't forget to send your name and maybe even a picture when you do these, so we know who to credit these.
Yeah. Natasha, we are still celebrating you this morning. So much excitement on the way. After 18 years of working in a salon, Natasha is about to open her very own home business on October 1st. We're looking forward to that, and we're sending you a lot of positivity. Heather saying that she's heading out to Victoria BC.
She's moving to Victoria.
For the first time.
That's it.
Yeah, so when she says she's visiting
Heather's out.
Heather's moving, because when you see the beauty.
You've had a good run. We got a lot of viewers out in BC. I know that. They all watch still. They don't live here, though.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sending us your good news today.
Pasqua First Nation worked for a long time to get a seniors care center on reserve. They're hoping it can provide culturally sensitive programs and services. Mick Fable reports.
What was once an idea is now a reality. Pasqua First Nation is now the proud owner of a senior care home established to improve the quality of life for an important portion of their population. It's a facility already getting positive reviews from those who now call the Red Eagle Lodge home.
Feeling that secure, safe environment. They're close to home. This is, you know, they all speak very highly of the way that staff treat them.
Talks for the care home began in 2009. Since then, a number of steps were taken, including consultations with Pasqua members who would possibly use the home on their needs and wants from a senior care center.
We're all facing the same issues on all of our nations regarding our older population and having a safe space for them. And I'm thankful that we're able to provide this for our relatives.
The The Red Eagle Lodge currently has 12 residential suites, with half of them currently filled. Those living in the facility have access to a gym, saunas, a theater room, a hair salon, as well as 24/7 clinical staff and on-site security. Also, built around the property are smaller homes meant for independent living. Irvin Pasqua has been living at the Red Eagle Lodge since July. He is happy to be back on Pasqua after spending years in other senior care homes.
I've been gone for 40 years and I finally come home now. I'm happy to be home here. I'm proud to be home now, anyway.
Special consideration is now being given to members of Pasqua First Nation. Leadership say if there is room at any time, the door is always open for non-members. The Red Eagle Lodge Care Center is intended to serve generations of seniors to come.
To me, you know, if you have the vision and the desire, there's nothing that can stop you from moving forward as a First Nation. And that's how our leadership think. We're constantly thinking of the future.
Mick Fable, CTV News, Pasqua First Nation.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
All right, let's head back out on the go one more time with Mike Siona, who is at Make-A-Wish this morning. And Mike, you're talking about Trees of Joy now?
Yeah, Trees of Joy is one of the coolest things that is done at Make-A-Wish, and certainly here in Saskatchewan we get to see that. I'm joined by Carter, who's a Make-A-Wish kid, and Jen Garden, who's the chapter director here in Saskatchewan. Jen, for those who don't know, talk to us about the trees.
Trees of Joy is one of our signature holiday events across Canada. In this, a donor entity, whether it's a company or family or an individual, commits a gift of $10,000, which is the symbolic value of a wish. They're paired with a child who's had their wish granted, and we give them an all about me, about what their favorite things are, and they've also given us some details on what their favorite tree would look like, and maybe some things for under the tree. That partner entity then gets to come in on November 26th at the Willows, and they get to decorate a pre-lit tree. We bring the kids in and the families. We do a magical tree lighting, and then the kids get to rip into the presents. And then the best thing about that is after breakfast, all the families get to have their trees delivered to them later that day, and they get to keep the memory of their wish forever.
It's pretty awesome. Now, Carter, as I understand it, your tree is still up. Like, you guys love this thing so much it never came down?
Yeah.
Tell me about your tree, and it was, what, just last year?
Yeah.
What kind of tree is it?
Grinch.
Grinch, and obviously that resonates with you. Let's talk about your wish. You had a wish that I'm jealous of. Like, I grew up in Edmonton. I was a big Oilers fan. What did you get to do?
Skate with the Oilers.
That's amazing. Did you have a favorite Oiler?
Not that much.
No, they're all awesome, right? Okay, well, the only thing we couldn't get was a cup, but hopefully this year you have that opportunity to watch that. Carter, just talk to me really quickly about just the Make-A-Wish experience and what it's meant for you.
It was good.
Yeah, a smile on his face. A man, a few words, but I know that the impact is there. We've been talking about it all morning, as you mentioned. Trees of Joy, $10,000 gets you that. It's the symbolic measure of a wish. We granted 102 of them last year here in Saskatchewan. And, of course, with your help, we can give more.
50 years of Tele Miracle. We are here with the chair of Tele Miracle 50, Tammy Blackwell. So first of all, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And the new gear. It's pretty nice.
Thanks. Yeah, we're going retro. We're back to the original Kin colors. Yeah.
So before, it seems it's like a long ways away because it's next year.
Exactly.
But things are happening right now. And first and foremost, we have to talk about the auditions.
Yeah. So planning for the 50th show started over the summer, and a huge component of that is the Saskatchewan talent that we have every year on the show. And so, yeah, auditions are open now. We're encouraging everyone from all four corners of the province and in between to apply. If you've been a Saskatchewan talent on the show before, apply again.
Right on.
Who doesn't want to be involved in the 50th show? So there's lots of information on telemiracle.com. Just go to the website, find out everything. In-person auditions are happening November 1st in Regina, and then November 2nd here in Saskatoon. But we're also encouraging people to send in a video submission.
That's great.
Right? Like organizing people and groups to be in the same place, same time.
Absolutely.
is a challenge. And both, whether you're in person or you send in a video, those are going to be weighted the same. So you don't have to be in person to secure your spot on the show. So, yeah.
School is back, and also back are some of these special school challenges, school programs that are fundraisers. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have 3 different contests open to engage our really pre-K to grade 12 age group. So, and they all have like, so there's coloring contest, a t-shirt design contest, and then a video contest. So think more like TikToks or Reels for the video. All of that information's on the website. They all open at the end of September. And they're open until end of January, except for the t-shirt design contest is open until the end of October. So that one's really cool. If you design a graphic and it's the winner, we actually produce it onto t-shirts, which are then sold as part of the fundraiser. And you get to come to the show and experience the show. So, yeah.
Now, we've only like about a minute left here. But what are you're the chair of the 50th. Is that extra pressure for you?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, it's okay, because it's a big number.
For sure, being honest. It's also an incredible honor, of course. And yeah, this year it's all about like honoring our legacy and all those founders that had the foresight to create this thing that's gone on for 50 years and truly has been embraced by the entire province. So, yeah.
And just before we go here, you've got a comedy night coming up.
We do. So the Saskatoon Cadets have partnered with Quick Dick McDick. That show's going to be in Saskatoon on November 7th, and you can find ticket information on zeffy.com.
Okay, and to get all the information, is there a one-stop shop?
So telemiracle.com really is that place you can go to find out more information about coming to the show, when the show is, and these contests, as well as the auditions.
All right, Tele Miracle 50, we're all looking forward to it, and there's lots going on before we get to the big weekend itself. So thank you so much, Tammy.
Exactly. Thank you for having me.
All righty.
8:30, welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Time for your headlines. We begin with people that are experiencing homelessness in Regina worried about winter as it approaches. At last count earlier this year, there are more than 800 people without shelter, which is more than the amount of shelter space. As Wayne Mantika tells us, a number of social agencies met with those concerned to discuss that situation.
Sunroof. Bobby Dean is without shelter.
Right there is where we sleep for now. Hoping that's going to change very soon.
He and his partner have been living outside Carmichael Outreach since last year. He says help is available, but it's a slow process.
The housing coordinators here can help us, which kind of takes time. And I mean, they got so many people that they deal with too.
Agencies that work with the unhoused met in Regina to discuss the situation. Namarand Housing recently revised its 5-year plan.
I always say it's about awareness and it's about working together. And it's taken a little while, like I'm saying months, to get people to actually understand that working together, we can do much more.
National experts say it's going to take years to solve the problem at the current rate of housing construction.
We haven't increased the proportion of non-market housing. In fact, it's decreased. And by non-market housing, I mean public housing, co-op housing, supportive housing, etc., since the 1990s. So that's almost 4 decades now where we have been neglecting those who are most in need.
Regina has a plan originally championed by former Mayor Michael Fougere.
Well, I'm glad to see Namarand Housing has taken the initiative to put this event together and to talk about homelessness, what we can do to get going on this.
Those living outdoors say they are holding on to hope as they explore immediate housing options for winter. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Let it die, right?
A funeral home in Moose Jaw is offering a unique way to remember loved ones. Damien Smith on the memories set in stone.
In Moose Jaw, a newer way of holding a loved one who has passed is now available in the form of parting stones.
As a funeral home, we want to ensure that we are watching for ways for family to be able to honor their loved one. And we know that in times where there's cremation that takes place, not everyone is comfortable with an urn, and they're also not comfortable with placing in a cemetery.
Chamberlain reached out to Parting Stone, a company that compresses cremated remains. They take the ashes, convert them into powder, add water to make a clay-like substance, and put them in a kiln.
And once the
firing is complete, this is where the solidification takes place. This is when they come out of the kiln, they really feel like a natural stone. They have kind of the properties of ceramic.
Based in New Mexico, this stone formation service remains quite rare. For Crow, the business is also personal.
This is one of the stones of my grandfather. My grandfather is all over the U.S. He's in Denver. He's in Akron, Ohio with my family.
Chamberlain says that the stones are in gradual demand in Moose Jaw, as this is a less traditional way for family and friends to grieve.
The urn can be heavy. That's just the way that it is. Where they can take a stone and they can hold this stone and they can reconnect. You're actually touching your loved one now, right? You're connecting with them this way rather than holding an urn that contains the ash.
The stones can be created from a variety of different colors, and it can also be created from pets as well. Damian Smith, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
And now, hats off to Buffalo Bills star quarterback Josh Allen. Will Reeve with why.
Allen will run it himself. He pumps, got some daylight, hurdles to the end zone.
Buffalo Bills MVP quarterback Josh Allen is trading his helmet for a ball cap designed by 5-year-old Jackson Bauer, a patient at Oshai Children's Hospital in Buffalo. This hat, one of 9 different hats customized by patients there in collaboration with New Era Cap. The 2024 MVP, who is now the director of Billustration at New Era. There. It's perfect. Will wear a different hat prior to each home game this season. Jackson's hat debuted at the first home game.
It's a Jackson original, if you will.
Jackson, who is nonverbal, was diagnosed with the muscle disorder myotonic dystrophy while in the NICU at Oshai.
Even though he has so many challenges that he has to face every day, he does it with a smile.
Jackson's cap scoring big off the field. It was signed by Allen and auctioned off for $17,000. All proceeds going to the Patricia Allen Fund in memory of Allen's grandmother.
Having Jackson be a part of this has been really awesome.
Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
The Moose Jaw Warriors entering the second year of their rebuild after winning that WHL title. The regular season begins on Friday. Jacob Carr with the team's expectations.
For the Moose Jaw Warriors, there is nowhere to go but up after finishing in the basement of the WHL Eastern Conference last season. Head coach Mark O'Leary says it's time for the veterans on the team who have experienced the highs and the lows to step their game up.
They've been around here. They were here when we won a championship as young guys, and last year going through the tough year that we did, but now it's time as guys that have been in the league for 3 years to be those guys that we lean on now. I know they're excited about the opportunity.
One of those veterans looking to elevate their game is 20-year-old forward Pavel McKenzie. Acquired in 2023 by the Warriors after spending a few years in the SJHL, McKenzie has been through the team's ups and downs over the past 2 seasons.
We had a lot of great players that played with us in the first year and come back. We had a couple of second-year vets, but we knew it was going to be hard. So we had a lot of young guys, but that's what happens. When you have a good team, you'll have a development year.
In his third and final year with the club, McKenzie told CTV News that the Warriors are cooking with the necessary ingredients for a successful season.
We're a little bit older. Guys are more used to the league. We got a couple good trades in, and I think a lot of good rookies are coming up, so I think we're going to be really good this year.
With just a few days until puck drop of the new season, O'Leary shared what he wants to see from his squad this year.
I want to see us check. I know that I like our depth throughout the lineup, up front and on the back end. We're going to have to be a 5-man unit if we want to create offense. But I want to see our play with the puck to be a little bit harder to play against.
And that starts on the road this Friday as Moose Jaw travels to Brandon for their season opener. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
I can't believe we're already talking about hockey. My goodness.
I know, and autumn officially starts on Monday. Can you believe it?
My wife goes back to work on Monday after maternity leave, too.
That's a hard transition.
All the changes.
Yeah, so many changes. With the new season comes the changes, and you can see that change as we turn our attention to this morning view here in Regina. I just love that view over our legislative building there in Saskatoon. Another beautiful start to the day. Just that view over the bridge there this morning. A cloudy start to the the day, however, at least we're still seeing some nice temperatures, though. 14 degrees in Regina to wake us up. Some winds coming in at 22 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 11 degrees to start the day. Again, those clouds going to be sticking around into the afternoon and overnight hours. And winds currently coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. Now, our futurecast showing that we did get a little bit more of that rain a little bit earlier on this morning down in that southeast corner around Estevan. However, we're going to be getting a break from it in the afternoon. Just a lot of cloud cover down in Estevan. And then the system is going to be making its way up from the United States, mainly into Manitoba. But yes, Estevan going to be seeing a little bit more of that drizzle for some points, likely in the later afternoon and into the evening hours. And then as we head into early tomorrow morning, this is at about 5:45 a.m. You can see it's tracking north up to the Yorkton area. Current temperatures now showing Spiritwood is at 10 degrees. Hudson Bay starting the day at 12 degrees. Wynyard 13 degrees. And the hot spot this morning is 14 degrees. And I know what you're probably thinking. Hey, you just said Regina's at 14 and Assiniboia also on the screen sitting at 14 degrees. Well, it all comes down to those decimal points, folks. Moose Jaw is just a little bit warmer. The cold spot, interestingly enough, East End also down in that southwest corner this morning at 8 degrees. Your forecast today showing 21 degrees for Moose Jaw, 17 degrees expected for Regina, 17 for Weyburn, 16 degrees for Estevan, and 16 degrees for Yorkton. Looking forward to the weekend, though, our last official weekend of summer 2025, and it's going to be a great one. 25 degrees on Saturday in Regina, 26 on Sunday. Low wind speeds for the entire weekend. That's going to be a great one to get outside. And in Saskatoon, that high today, 19 degrees with the mix of sun and cloud, 20 degrees tomorrow, 24 on Saturday with that sunshine. Even the clouds got the memo that it is the last weekend of summer. We have to enjoy it. They're going to push off for Saturday and Sunday and then return on Monday. But take a look at that Sunday temperature, 28 degrees. Keep in mind that the seasonal average for this time of year is about 17 degrees. So that's well above that. A beautiful weekend to get outside and enjoy it. All right, your morning just got a whole lot richer. We're giving away a staggering $20,000, and it's time for today's code word. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is splurge. Head to the contest page on our website or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter that code word along with your information for your chance to win CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to watch us tomorrow for a brand new code word. Good luck.
Time for X's and O's, and yikes might be the best word to describe this. Riders were exposed on the corners with, of course, the injuries to Marcus Sales. Tavon Campbell didn't play, so two players got their first ever start, Sept the third and Exume. Exume has been around for a bit, but has never really started. And was it as simple as that? I mean, Tyson Philpott, 238 yards on 9 catches, or was there more to it because their running back, Stevie Scott III, also went off for 125 yards?
Yeah, you know what, Lee, I was thinking about this, trying to make sense of it, and it really, I think a little bit of it was just matchup issues, but at the same time, obviously, Montreal's coaching staff, Jason Moss, they realized the issues that the Riders had with their roster and decided to kind of focus on that as far as coming out early and really trying to get Tyson Philpott in that one-on-one with Exume and take advantage of it, and it seemed to be working early on, so they kind of just kept going back to it. I was a little disappointed in the Riders staff just for not really making that adjustment or just sitting back in more zone and not really getting Exume locked up one-on-one as much. And I don't even know if it was necessarily man-to-man coverage, but it was just situations where they knew that coverage was going to kind of expose Exume and have him kind of out there on his own. Now, I know he's a great athlete, great kid, and he'll bounce back, but yeah, it wasn't the best showing in that aspect. But as far as the game goes, it was really just the weather played into it a little bit as far as turnovers. Montreal fumbled the ball a couple times, but they got them both back.
Right.
Riders fumbled twice, lost them, and threw a pick. So, and then had that turnover on downs late, which I don't really factor in as much. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think it was the weather.
Let's jump then to the offense. Hopefully the defense can fix things up. CJ Rivas also leaving the game, so this bye week could be helpful to get those 3 players maybe healthy a little bit. We'll know more next week. But offensively, yeah, it took them a while. It seems the Montreal's defense was able to catch on a little bit on their short game, getting on the slants, but still somewhat okay. I mean, AJ Ouellette still 90 yards. He's almost at 1,000 yards for the season.
Yeah, he's just been having a quietly great season, right? He's had some struggle, little injury issues, and, you know, the Rider O-line was touch and go there, the injury issues there as well. So I think that's one bright spot is, right, the running game is getting going at the right time of the year. AJ's still looking healthy and really running his best. Seems to be getting better and better as the season goes, and the offensive line is only likely going to get healthier. And I think, you know, we might get some receivers back that also threaten teams to maybe worry about maybe having a little more of cover guys on the field and opening up the Riders' run game even more. So I think that's definitely a bright spot going down the stretch.
What about Joe? Looked like he's a little more comfortable now that he's had some reps. He was kind of the leading receiver. The Riders keep having different guys pop up and play well at different times. That's got to be a benefit as we move forward.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Joe, you know, he came in early, and I remember the Riders kind of making him do some blocking in that first game back. But he got into the receiving action, like 8 catches last game, over 100 yards, and really it just adds to, you know, the guys that opposing teams have to worry about. So Joe is just another one. You know, you got Robustelli, who's had a big game. Neal has had some big catches, touchdown Tommy, as they're calling them. So I think, you know, you talk about those guys, and then you talk about some of the vets that might be coming back. And the Riders shouldn't have a personnel issue. It's really just going to be about schemes and guys making plays down the stretch.
Well, of course, they're on their bye week. Next week, we'll get you set for their next game. They still have a chance to clinch a home playoff game, but they need BC, who's playing Calgary, and they need Edmonton and Winnipeg all to lose, which could happen. You never know. They fall into their lap. We'll analyze next week on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's, brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
Time, just take your time, honey, I get it. Way you got me all in my head. So strange, this I never do, not that I miss you, I don't. Sometimes I just can't believe you happened.
Well, let's head back out now to Regina's Pat Fiacco Plaza and check in with Janella Pye one more time.
All right, well, things might be wrapping up here this morning for Adrian and I, but that does not mean things are over because today is the Walk a Mile in Their Shoes event. That is coming up later on this morning and into the afternoon as well. So, Adrian, I really appreciate you spending your time with me here this morning. And one last very important detail that we want to talk about here today is those red shoes, because that is a staple to this entire event.
Yeah. The red shoes are symbolic of our support for survivors of gender-based violence. You know, the color represents the pain, the trauma, and the suffering that they've endured, but it is also associated with love, courage, and resilience. So that's kind of what Walk a Mile is all about, standing in solidarity with those survivors and challenging ourselves to speak out against violence.
Amazing. All right. And one more time, in case people maybe missed it the first few times, where is this event being held? Right here. Well, it is right here in Pat Fiacco Plaza, but where can they meet you guys? Where are you guys going for your walk here today?
Yeah, so they can meet us right in the center of Pat Fiacco Plaza. We'll have tons of volunteers on site to help them out, get them checked in, and our walk will be happening around Victoria Park shortly after 12 p.m.
All right, and what are you hoping to see personally for this turnout here today?
Well, I guess for the event, I hope that we have a great turnout, that we continue to raise awareness, and we continue to raise funds for our Isabel Johnson domestic violence shelter.
Amazing. All right. And if somebody maybe wants to get in contact with YWCA, is there a website they can go to? How can they get in contact with you guys?
Yes, so they can head to our website to find all of our contact information there, just ywcaregina.com. Yeah, they can find all the information.
All right. Well, there is the resource. If you need it, please reach out. Make sure you're coming down to the event today. Once again, that is at Pat Fiacco Plaza. You're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be a ton of fun and a beautiful day for it.
The Canadian Screen Awards have announced a major change in their eligibility rules for next year. The awards recognize the country's top talent in film, television, and digital sectors. And now the Academy of Canadian Cinema and Television announced that as of its 2026 awards, nominees will only be eligible if they hold Canadian citizenship or permanent residency. Screen Actors Union ACTRA welcomed the move at what they called a time when Canada's cultural sovereignty is under pressure. And the Academy tells CTV News it took the step in consultation with the creative community, adding, "This change reflects our ongoing commitment to recognizing and uplifting Canadian talent, ensuring the Canadian Screen Awards continue to shine a much-deserved spotlight on our incredibly talented creators." When it comes to family bonds, they have their own uniqueness.
And when it comes to San Francisco Giants pitcher Logan Webb, he also has a special family bond.
He may be a two-time All-Star, but he also has two All-Star superfans who never miss a game. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Here comes Webb and a swing and a miss.
For San Francisco Giants ace Logan Webb, his two secret weapons may not be his sinker and his changeup.
How long have you guys been fans of Logan Webb?
Since he was born. I think since the day he was born.
Logan's grandmothers, Patty and Jan, have been cheering him on since his first game, only about 100 miles away in Rockland, California. Actually, Jan even remembers throwing to Logan when he was 3 years old, right after he would say,
"Throw the ball, Bama. Throw the ball," with his big bat. And I'm out there saying, "Grandma's just not very good at throwing the ball. Throw the ball."
But 17 years ago, Patty and Jan's relationship transformed under unfortunate circumstances. Their husbands, Al and Jerry, both passed away within 9 months of each other. And that's when Patty had an idea.
So I said, "Why don't you just stay? Why don't you just move in?"
Nearly 2 decades later, these roommates tell me their entire lives now revolve around the Giants, who were already their favorite team. When Logan was pitching in the minors, they took a road trip to Oregon to see him play. Then in 2019, when Logan finally made his big league debut,
7 strikeouts in 4 innings, and the Logan Webb family fan club, they love it.
We both know they were in the stands for that. In fact, nowadays, they even love to send him texts before his starts with words I've certainly never heard my grandma say.
I send him some gifts, and I tell him, "Kick baby, kick."
Well, he clearly appreciates it. In a recent interview, the two-time All-Star told MLB.com, quote, "I would say they're my biggest fans. They've been my biggest fans for a long time."
Got him. 10 strikeouts.
But I think you could argue that as much as they are fans of Logan's, they are equally gigantic supporters of each other.
I mean, we're like sisters. We really are in a lot of ways.
When Logan was in Little League and travel ball, Patty and Jan even used to bring the coaches muffins and coffee during practice, because of course they did. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Have to love that.
Yeah, best grandmothers of all time.
You only have to visit one house to see both of them, right?
Exactly. Luckiest grandson, too. Wow.
Goodness gracious. Let's get to your sidebar.
And I am very happy to present for this today our favorite content on this show, robots. These are new cleaning robots. Some cities are rolling them out. They operate on preset routes and automatically pick up and clean up garbage. So we can get behind this.
These make sense. These ones do not have arms and limbs. And
these would make sense to most people, the cleaning ones.
Yeah.
But my
they
husband
can reach
and I,
areas that are tough for humans to get to.
My husband and I go to Walmart, and they have these cleaning robots at Walmart now that go around the aisles.
Oh, yeah.
And Tyler hates it. He will see the cleaning robot, and he will, it's like Western duel music turns on, and it's like, like, he hates them.
I have to see it in action.
Odd choice for an enemy.
You know what? I have to see it in action next time I get a video. Let's talk about the Toy Hall of Fame.
All right, well, we're getting a look at the finalists for that National Toy Hall of Fame of 2025. Canadian created Trivial Pursuit is among the finalists.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, along with something else.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
Canadian Snow.
Oh.
Also on the list, some real classics: Battleship, Settlers of Catan, Connect 4, Lightsabers, Furbies,
your
and
favorite.
Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, Tickle Me Elmo. The craze is still there. Thank you for being with us here on Your Morning Saskatchewan. We'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Have a great day.